Hi guys, Mama Mita here. And so today I want to talk to you about the expense sheet that I did in Portland and how I did. Some things I did good on, some things I didn't. But those important to discuss that because you know what? We live and we learn from our mistakes, right? Yeah, right. Okay, so remember, I showed you that sheet. Okay, so I wrote everything down. I kept my receipts and went and made sure that I tracked it all down and stuff because that's important. Now, on this sheet, I'm going to stop the camera in a few minutes so I can focus totally on the sheet and you can see it. Now, this sheet, you can totally customize it. You can do all kinds of things that you could put flowers on it. You could sit down and meticulously just draw it out with the ruler and stuff, and you could add the things the way you want to. So let's go to the spreadsheet and see how it looks. Well, now, there it is. Oh my goodness sakes. I've been exposed. Okay, so now take a look at that. So what I did is in my head, I went back and I calculated stuff and I figured out that, hey, how could I have made this trip a lot cheaper for me? Well, okay. I was in the Paloma van. Remember the 2010 Sienna van? Now, the 2010 Sienna van only gets about 17, maybe 18 miles to a gallon of gas, and the freeway, it probably does worse, you know. The Prius does better on the freeway. I mean, it does better in town because you're going slower. But on the freeway, the Prius, I believe it says that the Prius does a little worse on the freeway. I have to look that up again. Anyway, all right. So when you look at that, how did I do with as far as hotels? Well, I did great. I didn't spend any money on the hotels. Now, I had looked up on Priceline and a couple other spots too on the internet before I pulled out going toward Portland. Okay, and there was some good prices on hotels down there that weekend and stuff. And I probably could have, went to a hotel for say like 85, maybe $90 a night. No breakfast, no continental breakfast, nothing like that. But the reviews were so bad that I just felt like, yeah, I don't know about that, because I already have enough health issues. I don't need to get into any problems and stuff down there and maybe get sick or something from something, I think I prefer to sleep in my car. Okay. So that was the reason why I mainly took the van because I wanted to make sure, okay, let's see how this is going to pan out with the van going on a trip. Well, the van is a great car to drive. I mean, it's so incredibly comfortable that you really you just love it. I mean, it's just a wonderful car. Great car, did well, it performed very well on the road, comfortable ride and comfortable sleeping. I love it. However, when we look at this spreadsheet, look at that gas that I spent. Ooh, that does not look too good. I spent $153.26 in gas in 7 days. Now, I went everywhere. I went up and down the road to different cities. I went back to Portland. Then I went up to Eugene. Then I went to Salem, and then I went over east. Then I went to the west. Then I went back. I was like all over the place. So I did use some gas. $153.26 in gas. Now, if I'd been in the Prius, that's what I'd spent in gas. Going from my place all the way down to Portland. From where I live to Seattle is 83 miles. And then it's another 200 and something to Portland. So I could have saved money with the Prius had I drove the Prius. And we usually do drive the Prius, my husband and I, when we go to Portland. Okay. Look at the food. I spent $19.68 in meals. I did take some things with me from the house, like the oatmeal packets and stuff like that, and some fruit and some vegetables. I did take that with me to save a little bit of money. And then the rest of the time, you see the higher prices, like the $2.99, the $2.59. those were eating out. That was the fine dining. No candlelight service, just fine dining. Well, actually, it did have a little bit of candlelight. If you want to call it fake candlelight, my little fake candles in the back, I could have brought them to the front. Oh boy, you got to get creative. You got to have a good sense of humor to make this work because I mean, you don't want to be sad when you think about all the things that you got. Anyway, okay. So the meals I spent 1968. Now, if I would have been in the Prius, I could have probably got that down to $15 because you know what I missed that I forgot to tell you about, or maybe I did tell you about it. Okay, you see the dollar? That's when I stopped at McDonald's and got the coffee and stuff, and then the other part was a hash brown for 189. Okay, of course Portland doesn't charge tax except when you get to the states, then they start charging tax. Okay, now when you look at that, okay, I could have saved that by going to Starbucks and held up my little envelope of my Starbucks coffee and just said, "Could I get a cup of hot water?" And they would have gave me a cup of hot water free because I had a friend that worked at Starbucks and she told me they give free hot water out. So I could have done that and I could have saved some money. So that's where I'm getting the $15, saying that I can save a little more. So now we've checked off the hotel, we've checked off the meals, and we've checked off the gas. Now let's look where I did bad, where I fell in a hole. There, that impulse buy. Okay, well, I bought the 100% silk scarf and I decorated. That cost me $25 for the scarf. That was a donation. But you know what? They don't ask you to pay money for the membership. So I felt like that's okay. I'll do that this time. Then I went to IKEA, you know, and I had dinner at IKEA. And IKEA dinner was a kids meal, but it was really good and very filling too, because I had French fries, I had like a broccoli souffle, and then I had the Swedish meatballs with the sauce, and then with two different sauces that they had with the Swedish meatballs, and then I got the coffee free because being a member of IKEA. Wow, that was even better. Now, if I would have went to Denny's, I would have paid $3.69 for that cup of coffee. So I did save some money by going to IKEA and having dinner. And IKEA is right near the airport in Portland, so that pays off to go there. I would definitely go back to there and have dinner again because that's a pretty good deal. Okay, so that meals came out to be 1968. If that's 1968, I could have maybe got them down to about $15 for all the meals for the 7 days I was gone. Had I used the hot water from Starbucks and just asked for it and not paid for it. I don't know. I'd never done it at McDonald's. I probably could have asked and saw what they would have told me. But anyway, I didn't. Okay. So I come out with a total balance of $213.62. Had I been in the Prius and not done that impulse buy, I think I could have got out with the Prius at $67 that whole 7 days. I mean, I know how to be really tight with my money. Now, the Paloma van is nice, but $213, I definitely couldn't go to Portland more often if I stayed with that. I could go more trips if I did the Princess Prius going down with her. Then yes, I could do more trips going down. So that saved me a lot of money. But you see how that spreadsheet, that expense sheet comes out? That works really well for me because I've got it right in front of me. I'm a visual learner, by the way. So that I can look at, and I can definitely see where I messed up. Yeah, you messed up there. Now, so it helps you. You can take this thing and you can make with just a plain old white sheet of paper. You can take and draw it out with the ruler, and you can do these little squares, and you can write it with your little fancy handwriting, whatever. And you can make your own little sheet like that. You don't even need to copy anything like this. You can just make your own. It's just really easy, and you can tailor it and you can decorate it to however you want. I think, that's a good thing to keep, is to keep that in your car, to always know where you're spending the money at. Because believe me, a little bit of money saved here, a little bit there, a little bit here, it does add up. Because look how that added up. $213.62 for 7 days. That's not bad. Had I went up here and got a hotel, I guarantee you that would have been another $1,000 right there. The cheapest amount that I probably could have gotten out of in Portland at a decent hotel 7 days would have probably been maybe 600. I don't even think I could have gotten that cheap. And the reviews were not good at the hotels in Portland. So that's what really made me stop and think, hey, I can save a little bit of money. And I know where I'm at. I'm sleeping in my car. And it was a great experience sleeping at the rest areas. Now, you have to keep that in mind that where are you going to be sleeping at when you go on these trips now? Because things have changed. Things have changed a lot. There's pretty much on that trip, there's no more Flying J's and no more pilots. They've got signs up saying, no, no parking here. And then I don't know how Planet Fitness is, so far they've been okay. But it's just a matter of time because Cracker Barrel's closed off now. They don't let anybody stay overnight either. The Fred Meyers in Oregon, yes, they do. You can stay at their parking lot. But how long will that be? So, you got to keep that in mind. You got to always be thinking about where are you going to stay. So I just want to run that by you to make sure that you knew that that is what I spent, because I didn't go over that and show that to you, but I wanted to make sure that I showed that to you, that that's how that worked out. So you guys, there you go. Okay, so there you have it. Now you know all the prices and everything I spent down there and stuff. And I think I can do better next time. And I will be happy that if I do better next time, because I was a little like, yeah, I didn't have to spend that. I could have, watched it. But in the past I did worse. I'm getting better. It's just a matter of keeping yourself watching, those, writing everything down and watching what you're spending. It's very important. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'm sorry I've been a little bit late getting back to you on video, but this week my stepson is getting married, so we're all busy getting ready to, to have a good time and get this boy married off to a really nice girl. And so I've just been really super busy, but hopefully, I'm going to catch up here now. Thank you guys. If you enjoyed my video today, please give me a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Bye now.